was, and it was just hit the middle of the foot. The rest of his teammates were just going over him like. This.
Onslaught, hello. Have we come back to see you? Hey, have we come back to see you? Hey, have we come back to see you? Have we? Hey.
sure, right, let Amber know to book you fish and chips. Right, ring her up.
written examination at the bottom.
Right, that's
We do provide you the pens.
So I'll talk
This is a
about it
boiler on its side. This is the boiler off the 04 freight engine, part of National Collection, and it's undergoing major surgery at the moment on the firebox. This is the whole lot is sat on its side. I might be talking down to you, by the way.
Don't worry about it.
It's just as if sometimes we'll have kids and it's on its side. The chimney's facing away, and we have a worm's eye view of the firebox.
Yeah.
The fire sits in the plane of this here and burns the coal. The air comes underneath through slits in the fire bars. The whole assembly is double skinned. It's steel on the outside and copper on the inside.
Is it copper?
Yeah, copper is a good thermal conductor, better than steel. So the inner firebox, which parts have been removed here, that is conducting the heat through into the water, which is completely immersing this area, including the top.
Yeah.
So it's picking the heat up and causing the water to boil. Normally there would be a second plate here, a copper plate, which somebody's taken off with the tube plate. The tube plate's a round plate, about an inch thick, sealing up that round that annular gap. That tube plate supports tubes which run from the plane of those rivets, which is where the tube plate's secured, to here. So the tubes are just, the technical term is simply supported, they just support at the ends.
Right.
The tubes carry the hot gases from the fire through to this end, which is the smoke box. The smoke box is not much in it actually. There's a chimney facing sideways in this instance. Here's one of the chimneys anyway. The front of the firebox, the smoke box, is sealed with a dished cover, and what happens is that about where my hand is a blast pipe. The blast pipe picks the exhaust steam from the cylinders after it's done the tractive effort and blows it at high velocity up through the chimney. As it does so, it amalgamates with all the smoke and crud and hot gases in here and blows it out. By doing so, by blowing the gas and the smoke out, it causes a pressure drop in this chamber. This pressure drop then sucks the heat from the fire through the tubes. The tubes are completely submerged in water, and they are transferring heat from the bore of the tube to the water surrounding it, so it's producing more steam. You can see the tubes are there. Am I alright talking imperial to you rather than metric? Or what do you want?
Please do imperial.
Imperial. They're about a 2-inch diameter tube. They are a loose fit. They are made out of mild steel, and they're inserted by, you put somebody in the boiler, he picks it, you feed it through there, through that hole and into the hole at the other side, and then you expand it to form a pressure tight seal. The larger ones I'll explain probably a bit later on. They're called flues, and they carry the heat through, but they also carry something called a superheater. Now when this thing is running in steam, it's running at about 200 pounds per square inch. At 200 pounds per square inch, water will not boil at 100 degrees C, it's getting towards 250, so it's a lot hotter. It's Boyle's or Charles's law, I never remember which one, that says that the temperature of the boiling increases with pressure. That is very hot. It's not like just the steam coming out of your kettle when you're making a cup of tea.
No.
Just
Right. Right.
don't need to introduce this one. This is Tornado 60163, which will be coming back to Darlington.
Is your
at
baby,
some,
isn't
yes,
it?
it's my baby, along with
Yeah.
its stablemate is getting a bit upset.
Yeah.
So we're doing a funding for the ballast. We've got all the track. We just want some more ballast, and then the locomotive can come in off the main line. So she's feeling flush at £22.50 a bag, we'd greatly appreciate it. We can't gut to it otherwise.
How much of a gap have you got?
We've done about half of it. We've got all the points, all the track, everything. We just don't have enough ballast. And we need 6,000 tonnes of it. And we've got about 2,000 tonnes, so we need some more ballast.
What's the distance?
Quite a long, it's quite a long way.
Half a mile?
I would, yeah.
200 yards?
Yeah, no, it's got to go over a bridge.
You got the bridge?
Got a bridge, yeah. The army are reinforcing that, that's not an issue. The issue is the ballast, that's what we need. We don't, the anyone seeing it doesn't want to put any locomotive transport, it's too much stress and strain on the planes. Having enough issues with it is, we want it to safely come back to Darlington.
It has undergone a major development. Oh, you know. All right.
Over 2 years.
You've gone in the shed.
Oh, John, is it jumbled? I think it's
This one's called mobile.
that could be mobile.
Now, it's a free tour, but I'd like to push. If you've got a watch, an expensive watch like I have,
Yes.
if you want to, you can hire from the Great Central all the tools to adjust your watch. I'll show you something around me.
Is it an hammer?
No, it's more finesse than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can I just get a film of this?
Yeah, what is it? Witherslack. Would you like to take a picture of my chin as well? Because I split my chin open, chucking some wood onto that many years ago.
Did you?
And the wood hit the handrail and bounced back into the shop. Yeah. Don't go around the front because we're concerned about people falling in fits.
All right.
I live about 3 miles as the crow flies from here, and when that comes out of Loughborough, you can hear it barking. And that's for a Timex. Right.
Just be careful, it's a working environment, and there are a lot of hazards.
You can see
Slightly different from Darlington, isn't it?
Yeah. This was an aircraft hangar apparently, and it's due to be moved. No idea where. It's been here for a few years, and
Because the main line goes through the
yeah,
building, is that
we
right?
had it blow away once. We had half the roof on, and we had to have turfers to hold it from going.
Yeah, so line out to,
we're going up the roof.
line out to Loughborough, go straight through here.
78018, British Rail Standard Class 2, only a small engine. I like small engines here because you can see them working. When you've got Tornado on the front, 3 puffs and you're up to the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit.
And can I just point out shed code 51, which is the same as Darlington.
So what's SC for then?
Built there.
Shed code.
Oh,
Built there.
oh, I thought it was Scottish.
78018,
Yeah.
built at Darlington.
These are the wheels for the 04. We've seen the boiler outside, that's the one with the bits missing. That is the lead-in truck. It does not provide any tractive effort. It just guides the locomotive along. The tractive effort comes from these 4 axles, 8 wheels. They are only 4 foot. 4 foot 2. 4 foot 8. Never mind. Things to appreciate is these wheels are locked together. So in difference to your car, when an engine goes round a bend, one wheel slips forward, one wheel slips backwards. That's why you get so much creaking when you're going around. There is a theory that the conicalness of this tyre compensates for that, but I don't buy it myself. They are rigid. This is the tyre, it's made of steel. It's fitted onto the wheel, which is cast iron or cast steel. That in itself is fitted onto the axle, which is steel that runs through between the wheels. The whole mechanical coupling is via hoop stress. This thing has got an inside diameter of about 2 millimetres, just over 16, less than the outside diameter of the wheel. So in theory it doesn't fit. It's heated up, expands to 3 millimetres, put on the wheel and allowed to shrink. Similarly, there is a shrink bit between the axle and the wheel, and that is taking all the turning torque from the pistons. Because the pistons, the mechanism on the engine on each side is providing the force one side and the next. So it's got to transfer the torque from one end, one plate to the other. So that's critical. It takes 100 tons to push that out. If there's a driver you slip it, they're going to hang you by your genitalia from the top. Right, here you can see the well-sharp valve gear. This is the piston. Again, I'm talking basics here. The piston moves backwards and forwards about 26 inches. It's physically constrained to the piston rod. That pushes this crosshead backwards and forwards from the same amplitude. As it does so, the load of about 20 tons in this instance transfer from that pin into this link, the con rod. The con rod now is pushing against this pin here. The pin is below the centre line of the wheel, so it's pushing that way. The wheel will turn anti-clockwise and the engine will move forward. That's very simple for you. Yeah. It's part of the exam. Remember that. Just while we're here then, the whole lot is orbiting around that centre there. This point is not on the centre, so that's orbiting around about a foot diameter. That drives this rod, which rocks this banana-shaped link. The banana-shaped link is doing an amplitude plus or minus 10 roughly degrees either side of the vertical. At the moment this engine is in mid-gear, so if it was in steam you could open the regulator and it wouldn't move. But to get it into first gear, the bottom gear, the driver operates a driven shaft here which lowers this arm downwards, and the radius rod comes down a curved path. In doing so, it drags the pistons which are in here, the valve pistons, not the main piston. There's two pistons about where my hands are, and they have an amplitude of about 6 inches. So they only move backwards and forwards a little distance, and they open ports to allow steam into the cylinder and exhaust out the other side. And then as the wheel turns, it goes the opposite way, steam this side, exhaust there.
Easy.
Peasy, easy peasy.
And they designed all this without computers, didn't they?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No cap. This is where the axles fit. We're doing some alignment at the minute. I think this is quite unusual for any experts here. It's got a tapered horn guides. The horn guides take the thrust from the pistons. So you're looking at 25 tons pushing that way, then that way. So they take a banging. When an engine's new, it's quite stiff. After 10 years, it's banging around there. And this has got a novel aspect. It's got tapered horn guides. So you can jack that up to tighten it up. So it's, none of the other engines, to my knowledge, are like that. This is the 4 axles that provide the thrust. And for verification of what Angela's told you, it was built at Gorton Works in 1912. It's not 1812. By the way, it's a bit unfortunate casting. So I normally ask the young kids to work out how old it is and see whether they're any good at the maths.
It's 112 and it's Gorton Foundry,
Yeah.
Manchester. So it would have done iron, steel, heavy freight.
Yeah.
Unlike Fragrance and landing freight.
This is a bogey, normally children laugh. This is a bogey out of that tender. The tender is off Sir Lamiel. So Lamiel is a southern region engine, and it's got a massive tender. We can walk down the side. unusual having two bogies like this. The story as I understand it is the southern region never had enough flat area to put in water troughs, or they never bothered. Consequently, they had to have a swimming pool's worth of water behind it all the while. So it's a lot of dead weight to pull. You see that area which has got red oxide on? That is the undersurface of the coal slope. So all that lot is full of water. The tenders, the bogies come out from under here, pivots around here. The other end is still in situ. Now, things to observe. This is a brake cylinder. When you go for a ride on the train, the brake cylinders are being operated by the driver of the engine, and it comes along a pipework all the way along the train formation. They are particularly large pistons to give a load of about 6 tons on the brake shoes. They're that big because they're being operated by the air that we're all sitting under now. 20 miles of air pressing down, giving about 14 pounds per square inch, which isn't a great deal of pressure. So to get the load, you have to have a big piston which is inside there. Nothing very precise, it's a rubber ring system, and they are sucked off by the ejector on the engine. The ejector sucks the brakes off and it lifts off. In its natural state, air gets into that system and the piston will move and the brakes will come on automatically. So when you see a cowboy film and one of the engines gets on the end of the wagons and pulls the wagon out and all the women and kids get scalped, don't worry about it, it won't happen down here. We ain't got any red Indians for a start off. And as soon as you pull the pin out, these bags, open up, let air into this, and the brakes come on automatically on the train and the truck with all the women and kids in. Right. On that trolley there are piston valves. They're the valves that move backwards and forwards about 6 inches only. Notice we've got piston rings to form a seal between the piston and the cylinder. These are wooden moulds for casting part of these cylinder liners. So they're made of wood, they're put into sand. Steel is poured in and they are fat cylinders. Now, fortunately I can get to this. There's the ports. Sticking my hand up the ports here. This is for Lamiel. It has got particularly large diameter cylinders. It's a 4 wheels at the front which guide but don't provide any traction. 6 main drivers, so it's a 4-6 go. Nice piece of kit. Now, if you look through here, you can see these red surfaces. Those red surfaces are the inside of the frame, these plates here. And that's why the Lamiel has got a narrow firebox, like a lot of engines. There is a limit on how far a guy can reliably throw coal through the fire hole door, and it's about 10 foot. So the maximum size of fire you can get is normally 3 foot by 10, 30 square feet. Well, on the Pacific, it got to the point where do you get more power, and they then extended the firebox out this way at both ends, so you've got a bigger square. We'll see that on Oliver Cromwell. Right, your test for the day. There's a door on the back. Can you imagine it being blown onto the door face? The Black 5. It's part of the Fleetwood collection. It's never turned a wheel. So it hasn't turned since the mid-60s.
Spoiled for it outside, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, with no front firebox, front two-plate.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
There's a gentleman who's a school teacher, and he's got a good gang of volunteers, but I don't know where they get all the cash from. Nice piece of kit, 460. If you got into a massive tornado, this will get you out of the mess. All Black 5s were very highly thought of. During the late 40s, British Rail wanted to rationalise all the engine designs, and the swap medium-sized engines, large engines and small engines around the different areas. So this went to this, for example, the southern region, and they asked the crews to assess how good they were, and the Black 5 came out tops, probably next to a B1. But so when they rationalised a Class 5, which is a medium power engine, they virtually copied it and built it as the British Rail Class 5. And there's one outside in the yard,
156.
156, there you go. I can I've worked on since 1973.
Which is when it came here,
Yeah.
right?
I was 4 at the time. Yeah, it took us 20 years from
Fine
9.
now.
Yeah, I'm only 36 now. It took us 20 years to get it to work, and it was rebuilt on a wing and a prayer. It ran from 1992 till 1999, when we had a problem with the boiler firebox, so we took out of service. The railway weren't this railway, we were going to do it up. They started taking it to bits, but then didn't finish it. So we formed a private public, yeah.
I think it's a private limited company.
Private limited company.
company.
And since then we've been selling shares and putting money into it, spent $500,000 to now. But the boiler, as you can see, is missing. The boiler at present is at Locomotive Maintenance Services in Loughborough. But we, to be honest with you, have ran out of money, so it's outside at the minute, waiting for us to...
So if you're feeling generous,
Yeah.
you either want to give on there, or the collection box on the locos, which will be gratefully received. Even if it's only £1, or every pound counts.
Yeah. So this is 4 wheels at the front, which just carry the weight.
Yep.
6 main drivers, which are unusual because it's British box pop design. Reputedly, these type of wheel is 10% lighter. They were designed as a light Pacific.
Is that why she kept picking her feet up?
Well,
They used to.
Yeah,
Salisbury
they're all
particularly.
very light on their feet, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, so you have to be very careful.
Am I right in saying when it was originally built it was a spam can design, it was just flat-sided, but now since it's rebuilt it's going to look more like that at the top.
Yeah.
So it'll be
We've got a picture of
more
her
like
as a
it was
spam can.
Yeah,
Yeah. Used to run over with Somerset and Dorset.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
lovely. Lovely engine. One of the guys bought it as an act of faith for the railway, this railway, and he spent 3,200 quid
Yeah.
buying it and didn't know what he was letting himself in
It's
for.
the speedo.
No.
Yeah.
That's the speedo. Speedo, just Tornado's got one of them. And there's
Train coming through.
there's the collection box if you'd like to, if anything would be gratefully received.
That's how she is going to be rebuilt outside the shed here. And that's as a spam can. She was built in 1946. They were.
Much better that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you not think it's more attractive? Or do you like the flat one?
Nobody is from a spam can group.
Yeah,
Prefer that.
I like that one.
I
I've
do.
heard the rumours about them.
Do you like the spam
We've had them
can?
down here.
They're good engines in their way,
Thank you.
but they're so complicated,
Yeah.
you know, and they're used to catch fire.
Yeah.
Really?
The chain-driven valve gear,
Thank you for that.
All right.
an oil bath,
Yeah.
Worth
and it
every
used to
penny.
catch fire.
Yeah. Chains stretched as
You
well.
really thought we'd have never known. I
Well,
was just telling that other chap it's really poorly advertised.
right.
We just thought,
Well, I'm not normally on the shed. I work on the station now.
Oh, do you?
I look for on the platform is where I normally work now.
Yeah, what's your age?
Yeah.
Mostly challenged like I am.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, there's a sort of video here of all working.
and I believe she's at the front end of her tender rebuilt. Is that correct?
No, the tank has been all new.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So the whole lot.
Just to prove I'm not fibbing, this is between 1990.
being a retired plumber, I know what you're talking about.
Thank you. This is another black 5. Number Angelus, foot 45305. Nice piece of kit. I think wheel size 6'2".
6'2" this one, yeah.
I thought it was 6 foot something.
Go on, it might be.
Yeah,
Well, compare it to me.
Yeah.
I'm 6'10",
yeah.
so. Thank you.
6 foot.
There's somebody working here, by the way, so we'll walk past
That's
quickly
right.
and don't trip over the hose. Sound like a good guy, yeah. Oliver Cromwell. Notice the excellent brush painted paintwork. Roller bearings, not plain bearings on these. Oliver Cromwell is a Pacific 462. This is the extra wheels under the back because you've got this big cantilever not doing much. You can see the plates there, the red plates, they're the main frames. They are the rigidity of the locomotive on its main axis. They are cut down to only being about 1.5 foot. So they double up the thickness of the plate. So there's 2 plates riveted together to give the strength, and it's all supported by this extra axle. This axle's allowed to pivot about a point at the front, so when it goes round a bend, the load is still transferred from here to support the back end. Now, the reason it's cut down is the firebox is now comes right out to about here. So instead of being, remember, 3 foot by 10 foot, it's now 6 foot square, for example, 36 square feet. So you've got more fire, more energy there.
More shoveling.
More shoveling and a different technique because you've got to
Yeah.
flick it round the corner.
Timken roller bearings.
Yeah.
Different bearings, this one.
I think it's roller bearings throughout. Here's the brake shoes. Which a lot of people think, oh, they're rubber. No, they're just cast iron, they're consumable, and they work straight onto the tyre. I had Boscastle ones, went up to Quorn. I thought, it smells a bit funny, and we had to take the handbrake off properly, off the tender. The brake shoes were blue. I didn't realise it. a mechanical lubricator that is driven by the action of the motion, and it rotates very slowly. And if I was not quite 7 foot tall, I could turn that and it pumps oil down those pipes and lubricates various areas on the mechanism. It's a total loss system, so it all ends up on the floor.
Do we know when the boiler's coming back?
When it's coming back, oh yeah, sorry, it's exciting.
Very soon, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. It's sort of, keep it fairly close to the chest. But this used to run on British Rail in the summertime and then come down here in the winter to later. It hasn't been out for about 2 years. As it's a diesel weekend. This is a mechanical lubricant that I can reach. You turn that normally, and that's pumping oil round the system and coming out. Here's an interesting one for you. These are corks. When you come down in the morning, that section there is hollow. Put the oil in there. Normally wait till it comes out the top, put my finger in to displace any excess, and then put a cork in. The cork stops the debris going in, but all corks have got a bit of balsa through the middle, and that is to stop any vacuum being created on top of the oil, so air can bleed in. And if you end up with a vacuum, you'll end up with that getting hot because it's not getting lubrication. This is another system. This is an oil pot. Yeah, I've got to think about what I'm coming like at the end of the day. This is a worsted trimming. That is the same thing as people can knit with. It's inside here. This is filled with oil, and I don't know what the correct nomenclature is, but there's what I term the volcano in the middle. The top of the volcano is slightly beneath the lip of the pot. So initially you fill that with oil, and a good gush of oil will go down through there by gravity, and in this instance lubricate the piston rod. But after a while the surface drops to beneath the neck of the volcano, and that's when this comes into play, because this is a piece of copper wire put down through the volcano into, and then the trail goes into the oil, and the oil then will run up by capillary action and feed at a predetermined rate to keep that piston rod lubricated.
What's it made of?
It's worsted. It's just like a jumper.
Is it really?
Yeah.
This is genuine Great Central pigeon muck. Now, something else of interest. This is a pinch bar. If you rusted on an engine that's in the side of the shed, you have to get the engine out of the shed before you light it up, otherwise you'll end up clogging the place up. And this fits between the rail and the wheel. And you crank it through, and that little bit just lifts up. Two blokes will roll any engine out in here with pinch bars.
Takes a long time though.
Yeah, but bear in mind the safety aspect. There's a bracket on the side with this rag hanging.
Don't hit your head on it.
don't hit your head. I don't think any of us are that height up there.
Not all tall and
Vertically
solid.
challenged.
I spend about half an hour every time I've done this bending it back after somebody's banged their head on it. Yes. Here's the fire hole door, and this is the boiler off of the Fleetwood Black 5. But a bit of luck when we come round here, we can see there's a bit more power.
When's the next door?
Front 8 foot has been taken off. That's the inside of the boiler. You can see the tube plate there. There's another tube plate which unfortunately the owner couldn't fit it. He had it fitted and then it was rejected by the insurance company. So it's got a new tube plate to fit. Major expense. Right, we're going back. Oh, yeah. That'll control the rate of combustion. Right, we're taking you out now, guys. Almost sounds like I'm the only one doing tours today, doesn't it? Where everyone else is.
Can't get enough of that beauty.
No. I'm supposed to be on her in 2 weeks' time for the job too. We're keeping fingers crossed. Don't want to jinx it. No, don't want to jinx it. Magnificent welcome. Magnificent welcome.
Get side by side.